Thank you all. So now you have a pretty good idea who our candidates are and what are their ideas. The voting is, as said before, tomorrow. But now it's time to hear from our AIMS patron, the Greek Athletics Association. And I welcome on stage the Vice President of the Greek Athletics Association, Panayotis Timakos, and he will be joined by Makis Asimakopoulos.
Good morning, everybody. Dear Mr. President of AIMS, dear members of AIMS, dear organizers of Tallinn Marathon, dear Mr. President of the Estonian Athletic Federation, dear friend Erich, dear race organizers, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dimakos Panayotis. I'm, as you can read there, Vice President of Greek Athletic Federation, EA European Athletics Council member, and I have the honor and the privilege to be the chairman of Athens Marathon, the Authentic. 11 years ago, a great change regarding road racing took place in Greece. In 2007, SEGAS, the Hellenic Athletic Federation, the organizer of Athens Marathon, has begun its cooperation with AIMS. It is to this great collaboration that we owe today's success of the Athens Marathon, which was grown from 4,000 participants in 2005 to more than 50,000 runners this year. The improvement in numbers and quality of the so-called today authentic marathon has made the event extremely popular and has sparked the Greek general interest in road running, thus boosting the development of many such events all around the country. As you very well know, in 1896, in Greece, marathon has been transformed from a legendary heroic deed to a unique Olympic sport. Then, during the last 120 years, all of you, AIMS members, have transformed marathon from a sport event to a huge social event. Therefore, SEGAS has felt the obligation, but also the pleasure, to support and promote the history of our favorite sport, as well as to enhance its cooperation with AIMS. So, during the last decade, AIMS and Athens Marathon have achieved the following. Since 2007, under the auspices of AIMS, we have established the Marathon Flame, which has traveled to more than 28 cities of the world since then. The lighting of the flame takes place inside the archaeological site of Marathon Tomb, thus highlighting every year the historical roots and great values of our sport. Since 2007, under the guidance of AIMS, we annually organize the International AIMS Marathon Symposium, which proudly attracts to Athens more than 60 long-distance race organizers from all over the world for educational proposals. In 2010, we have all celebrated in Athens the anniversary of 2.5 millennia since 490 before Christ, the year of the historical Battle of Marathon and the legendary heroic run of the Athenian soldier runner Phidippides, who brought word of Greek victory against the invading barbarian forces. Since 2012, Greece has become the proud patron of AIMS, providing not only financial resource, but also space for the AIMS headquarters in Athens. The address? Spiros Louis Avenue, the avenue named after the gold marathon winner of the first ever marathon race during 1896 Olympiad in Athens, the national home of AIMS. Finally, Since 2013, we have also been financing and organizing in Athens the annual Ames Best Marathon Runners Awards Gala, honoring every year the best little marathon runners as well as unique race organizers and personalities. Ladies and gentlemen, via the Athens Marathon, the Hellenic Athletic Federation, the Greek National Tourism Organization, the region of Attica, and the Athens International Airport support Ames and its prestigious events financially and with infrastructures. This because Athens Marathon is very unique for our movement. It has the privilege to be organized along the original marathon course, which starts from the city of Marathon and finishes at the center of Athens, inside the famous marble Panathinaikos Stadium. Nowadays, Athens Marathon, the authentic, is the most important and popular annual athletic, cultural, social, and touristic event in Greece. It has been voted twice the event of the year in Greece. That shows its true potential not only within the sports community, but also within the entire society, which rewards the impressive results of the collective effort for the Council of the Hellenic Athletics Federation and the people involved in it. Thank you very much, and I am waiting all of you in November in Athens Symposium. Now, Max Xemakopoulos, the General Manager of Athens Marathon, the man in charge of the organization of all these events, will present you in detail the special events organized by Ames, SEGAS, and Athens Marathon. Makis.
Good morning, everybody. Nice to be here. I missed you yesterday. Of course, I had to be in another country. But thank you, Panos. I see here a lot of familiar faces, people I see in Athens quite often. First of all, let me thank Tallinn Marathon for this great organization. The guys, the staff that they're organizing the Congress, our champions over there that made it, brought it here. And today I'm not going to speak about the Athens Marathon. I'm going to speak about the Ames project in Athens. So I have a double role, being a coordinator for a number of these projects, plus being the general manager of the Athens Marathon. Do I press OK here? Yeah. All right. The first project I'm going to speak is the Ames Symposium. The second is the Marathon Flame. And the third one is the Ames Best Marathon Runners Gala. Ames Marathon Symposium. This is a seminar established back in 2007. It's a one-theme seminar, 3 hours only, and is on race management. So it's a seminar and educational opportunity that Ames is providing to the members. As I said, it was established in 2007 by Ames, the Hellenic Athletics Federation, called SEGAS, Athens Marathon, and it's a seminar that usually every year collects around representatives from 60+ races from all over the world. So it's actually the annual meeting point of all of us and exchanging ideas. This is always the second week of November, the day before the Athens Marathon, and actually is combined within a 4-day weekend, and so it's an excellent opportunity for you to be there. The concept is that Ames invites international and local prestigious speakers on the theme selected, and then besides the presentations, we have a chance to have exchange of ideas on the theme, plus presentations on case studies from various marathon races on the theme. Let me say at this point that this symposium in 2007 was established after the recommendation of one of our very important men in our family, still with us, Mr. Horst Milde, the founder of Berlin Marathon. Thank you very much, Horst. So he's now still the chairman of the symposium on behalf of AIMS and along with all the others. The themes that we have covered since 2007, you can see them here. It's a number and variety of themes on the history, on how to add value to your marathon, charity programs, environmental green issues. You will listen more on the green issues later on from George Kazadzopoulos, who's working with AIMS on the green projects, medical services, levels and quality control of a marathon event, safety, security issues. As Paco said, it's a new thing that needs to pay more importance on that. Then the discussion about adding value is never enough. Doping threats, that was 2 seminars in a row because doping is the biggest threat of our sport, like the biggest threat of athletics in general. Developing the race through developing the running movement was very important. We discussed it last year. And this year, the main theme has to do with a new thing, how to protect the databases we all have from our runners, according to the new legislation in the European Union that affects all the other continents as well, the so-called GDPR. So we'll have discussions on the implications and the impact on running events. This is going to happen the day before the Athens Marathon on November 10th in the morning at Hilton Hotel, which is our host. And then that will be followed by the Marathon Flame ceremonies. I will speak about it in a while. The Athens Marathon opening ceremony, then a lunch at the marathon area, at the Marathon Lake, and the entire afternoon. So the organization of this symposium is responsibility of the Hellenic Athletics Federation and the Athens Marathon. Under, of course, the guidance of AIMS, because the AIMS is the owner of the symposium. And there is no need actually to be an AIMS member to be there, but the AIMS member have privileges, and you'll see here, we offer for 3 days, free of charge, 1 room per AIMS marathon race, bed and breakfast. And then within the days, we have 3 group meals or receptions, again, free of charge. So in general, if you can buy your ticket to come to Athens, it's really a good chance to be with 60 other race directors and have this educational and all other experiences you will see today. So, other privileges you can have is, of course, the opportunity to buy space at the Marathon Expo. We do have this year 55,000 registered people for our races. So in total from the Expo, they pass by more than 60,000 people, and a lot of them are foreigners. We have more than 15,000 people coming from 105 countries. So it's a nice chance to present your race if you choose so. Then you can attend the Best Marathon Runners Gala. I will speak about it in a while, and the Marathon Flame ceremonies. And of course, if you come to Athens, like here, and thank you very much for offering us free of charge registration, you're going to have free of charge registration for the Athens Authentic Marathon races, marathon, 10K or 5K on Sunday. And you'll have a chance to finish inside the beautiful, fabulous Panathinaikon Stadium. So, the procedures, in order to attend the AIMS Marathon Symposium, every year, not only this year, you have to register through our website, the AIMS Marathon Symposium at Athens Marathon, at the Athens Authentic Marathon. We have sent an information email to all of you once. Now you're going to receive the second one. In case you need more rooms than 1 room that we offer free of charge, you have to pay for that, but we have secured excellent prices at Hilton Hotel on the marathon course at the city center between 105 and 120 euros. And the contact persons that you discuss with is Georgia Sayadinu, Georgia, most of you know, with the coordinator of the symposium, and Theodosis Levitsanos from the AIMS HQ offices. So we have extended the line for registration up to the end of September because I understand, and we understand, some of you came here, you spent money this year, you might not, but now you consider that, and then you have time until the end of September to register for the symposium. So, that was the first project. The second one we have in Athens, along with Ames, is the marathon flame. The marathon flame actually is a symbol of the marathon movement. It's under the auspices of Ames. The logo and slogan of the marathon flame, you see here, it's very generic. It has nothing to do with Athens, marathon only. It's a generic logo for every one of you. The slogan is that will knows no limits, which applies to all aspects of life, not only running. So it's more generic slogan. And you can see here the flame, the human flame, representing what we try to do. The marathon flame is lit every November, every year. And this is happening inside the top of marathon in Greece, the birthplace actually of our historic sport. The marathon flame was established also in 2007. You can see here some of the pictures. It's a symbol of Ames, managed by the Hellenic Athletics Federation and Athens Marathon and Marathon Town. It's happening the day before, and of course all the race directors, they come in for the symposium, they participate in this along with a number of Greek VIPs. The Marathon Flame actually has been established to promote the marathon movement. In 2010, the Marathon Flame cauldron at Marathon Town, 2,500 years after the Battle of Marathon. The cauldron was lit by the Olympians Joan Benoit and Katerina Tita. And after it is lit, it's kept inside the Marathon Race Museum we have at Marathon Town. Not as good as yours, host, but we are trying hard with your help. And it travels all year around to various other races. The Marathon Flame, actually, if you invite it to come to your race, whatever time of the year you have it, it can enhance your marathon event. It promotes the values, it gives some festivities outside the race. It travels only after an invitation that we might receive from your side and based on an MOU, a sample MOU for the terms of this traveling. And the welcome ceremonies at your country enhance the image of your marathon event and promote the marathon movement ideals. The Marathon Flame so far has traveled, of course, to Europe, to Belgrade in 2008, to Lindau and Bregenz, to Prague, to Omsk, Siberia. More for Europe, Vienna, Nicosia in Cyprus, Düsseldorf, Germany, and Paphos again in Cyprus, of course in Greece, in Thessalonica, Macedonia, Peloponnese, and Crete. To Asia has gone to Xiamen, and actually I have to say this is the first trip in 2008. In January, there was the first ever trip of the Flame to Xiamen, and then went again in 2009, then to Shanghai, to Mumbai, India, and to Beijing in China. And it has been in North America. You can see it here with American top people. All right. In Boston, Toronto, Kerry, yes, Chicago, and Ottawa. And it has been in Central America, in Quito, in South Africa, in Maritzburg, and 2 times in Mexico City. The last one was 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, something like that, yes. Thanks to Marta, thanks to the organizer of the Mexico City Marathon, who had a brilliant event there. They invited the Marathon Flame on the occasion of the 50 years after the Olympics in Mexico City. And with the Marathon Flame, they lit the cauldron of the Olympic Games kept from 1968 inside the Olympic Stadium. And the cauldron was lit by the same lady that lit the cauldron by that time, all right? And it was really very moving. We had the torch relay. You will see pictures in a while with a number of you that you were in Mexico City. So you see here the Marathon Flame is playing an important role in retaining our values and everything. The Marathon Flame has even gone to Antarctica twice, 2012 and 2014. So it's been really a nice trip the last 11 years of the Marathon Flame. And now you can see here, sound please. It's a video from the ceremonies and the trips. Maybe you turn down the lights a little bit. Mikis Theodorakis. And this is the chairman of the Boston Marathon. So, the torch relay in Athens, after lighting the marathon, is being taken care of Mr. Evangelos Papapostou, our technical director. He's here with us. Thank you, Evangelos. And the marathon flame, the guardians are Athens Marathon and the Marathon Town. But the marathon flame belongs to all of you. That's why it was established. So it's not the Athens Marathon flame, it's the marathon movement flame. We just keep the logistics and we guard it. And it's already for you. And now I'm going to tell you how you can attend it in Athens, all these ceremonies you've seen. Just register for the Ames Marathon Symposium. You can invite it to your city. There are no rights to be paid. Just the cost have to do only with some tickets and accommodation of the people who are going to bring it to you. So ask us for the terms and the MOU and everything. So, but it belongs to you. It's only cost related to logistics. And in order to organize it, of course, in your country, you need to have some kind of a cordon, nothing very expensive, plus to prepare the ceremonies and some kind of a relay somewhere. So I spoke about the Marathon Symposium. I spoke about the Flame. The last project that Ames is running in Athens and is established in 2013, the Best Marathon Runner Awards Gala, BMR. I like to call this the Oscars of the marathon movement. And what is the Ames BMR Awards Gala? Established in 2013, 5 years ago, in collaboration by Ames, in collaboration with our federation and the Athens Marathon. Special annual awards to honor the best of our family. And it honors elite runners, race organizers, figurehead personalities, and the health running community, I mean the mass population that runs. It's a live television and entertainment special event in Greece. It includes actually 6 awards, 5 AIMS and 1 SEGAS award. The 2 marathon male and female, the best runners of the year, the elite runners, the Green Award, the Social Award, and the Lifetime Award. The Green and the Social are for race directors, race organizers like you. And the Lifetime is for personalities, for individuals that they have done excellent in our family the last years. You will see in a while. Who can be the best marathon runners? Of course, who else? Someone who has done either world record, the best time of the year, gold medal in the Olympics, gold medal in the World Championships, maybe winning a major marathon races for the year, or in total has shown personal qualities that make these people, these athletes, role models for the youth. How the BMIs are voted, remind to some of you that you have not done this so far, that every September, AIMS, after the Berlin Marathon, announces the candidates, the male and female elite runners that are candidates for the best marathon runner of the year. Then every October, all of you have a chance to vote which one is the best marathon runner. And in November, during the AIMS Best Marathon, the gala, we announce the winner is, and like that. So that's why I said the Oscars of marathon, and it's like, we try. Very far away yet, but doing well. And of course, there are money included in that for the best marathon runners, the elite runners that they are given to them by AIMS. The other special awards, like the Green and the Social, these awards are selected by the AIMS Executive Board after candidacies that you might provide. You get information about it. The Lifetime Award is a decision, again, from the Executive Board, but proposals by the Executive Board members. And again, every November, we announce all of these winners during the gala. So the gala takes care 2 days before the Athens Marathon. I remind you, 1 day before is Flame and the Symposium. 2 days before, at the theater, a famous theater in Athens, we have the gala, which is actually, as I told you, a live television event. It's 90 minutes max, the gala, has short speeches, videos, has awards, music, and then a post-event cocktail buffet, and the dress is a little bit formal. Organizers is the AIMS, co-organizers Athens Marathon and the Hellenic Athletics Federation, sponsors mainly Greeks, and the National Tourism Organization, the Athens International Airport and the region of Attica, and it's being televised live by the Greek television, and approximately is being attended by 500 people from internationally and locally. Next slide. Come on. All right, so this is the program. Let me not spend on that. It's like the sequence of that. You will get the presentation. That's why I put it there, so you know what's going on. And here are the winners of the last 5 years, with Eliud Kipchoge, of course, dominating the last 3 years as a best marathon runner. He is a great runner of our times, so he's there. And at the female side, we have different winners every time, with Mary Keitany being the latest last year, but also very famous runners have got the award the last 5 years. And the Green Awards for race organizers like you, okay? The last 5 years, the Milano City Marathon, the Frankfurt Marathon, the Houston, Göteborg, and Sanlam Cape Town Marathon have got the Green Award. On the Social Award, winners we had from Medellin, from Munich, from Lala, from Tokyo, and from Ethiopia. The AIMS Lifetime Awards has gone to very famous persons that have honored our movement, like Rosa Mota, Haile Gebrselassie, Frank Shorter, George Hiss, and Ingrid Christensen. It's not only runners, but also personalities and figureheads of our family. And we have one more special award. This is awarded after the proposal by the Hellenic Athletics Federation and the Athens Marathon to honor the mass population, the mass runners, the runners that they run for health reasons. We call it Health Runners Award winners. You can see here people that are not elite, but they have running as part of their life, and this is what we do, actually. Let's watch the video.
Welcome to the AIMS Best Marathon Runners Awards Gala.
It is an honor and a privilege standing here in Greece at the birthplace of the marathon legend, surrounded by all of you.
The 2017 AIMS
Εδώ είναι,
Best Female
αριστερά η Τσελή μου, δεξιά και η Τάνη.
Award goes to Mary και η Τάνη.
Μέρη και η Τάνη.
I am Hellenic and I want to take this opportunity to thank AIMS for selecting me as the best athlete for the year 2017.
Greetings from Boulder, Colorado to everyone in Athens.
Okay. Well, if Paco wasn't the only candidate, someone could accuse us for running your campaign, okay? But we have to say that these three projects, and I will finish with that, have grown with Paco's leaderships. They've started some of them with Hiroaki Choza, we would like to thank him as well. But Paco has made a big difference, and that's what we do actually. We need to create, all of us, in our cities, for AIMS, for our movement, new projects, new products, to promote this great social movement. It started sometime as a legend back in Greece, 2,500 years ago, became a sport in 1896 during the first modern Olympic Games, and has been developed now to a social movement, not only a running movement. And we have a big responsibility to keep going, and that's what we do there in Athens. It's been a great long weekend with all these events. The way to attend the AIMS Best Marathon Runners Awards is again, register for the symposium, then you get free accommodation and all the rest. Come to Athens, Greece. We will take care of you, and we are more than happy to welcome you in Athens. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope I didn't take a lot of time, but I thought it was important to know how some of the AIMS projects are running. And for this, for your attention and for your support, for being here, I thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. And now it's time for coffee and tea. Coffee and tea are served in the front lobby as yesterday, and we will continue at 11 o'clock. So you have 25 minutes or so. Please be back on time so then we can keep going. Thank you.
people would say to accept their fate. But if this is fate, then we'll find a way to cheat. No, we'll say a little prayer. And if the answer isn't there, you know you can call on me. When you need somebody, you can call on me. When you can't stop the tears from falling down. When you're weary and the road is dark, and I'll guide you with the beating of my heart. And if the cavalry and the help don't come, then we'll find a way to dodge a smoking gun. And we'll say a little prayer. But if the answer isn't fair, you know you can call on me. When you need somebody, you can call on me. You can't stop the tears from falling out. When you need somebody, you can call on me. You can't stop the tears from falling down.
Your love is sweet, ooh, I'm craving for you. Don't miss a beat, ooh, that rhythm, boy. You like to scream, ooh, that tempo, boy. Give me life sometimes, making me cry sometimes when we can't get along, and you say you wanna be alone, and you start throwing words around like rocks in the glass house. You act like you don't know what I'm upset about, and I break down. But then you hear me out. Oh, I'll be waiting for you when you come home. We don't really need to talk about it. You know I don't really mind the darkness, so we don't really need to talk about it. Waiting for you when you come home. We don't really need to talk about it. You know I don't really mind the darkness, so we don't really need to talk about it. That chemistry ain't too common for me. Most lovers don't hit rock bottom, do they? As long as you share your shadow with me, wishing me well sometimes, giving me hell sometimes. Get along, and you say you wanna be alone, and you start throwing words around like rocks in the glass house. You act like you don't know what I'm upset about, and I break down. But then you hear me out. Oh, I'll be waiting for you when you come home. We don't really need to talk about it. You know I don't really mind the darkness, so we don't really need to talk about it. Waiting for you when you come home. We don't really need to talk about it. You know I don't really mind the darkness, so we don't really need to talk about it. I had a dream when I was only 5, to work at a bar. I wanted to see over the other side. And I had a friend, her
was Fern and she had a blue bike. So we'd ride through the streets, and I would sleep over on Saturday nights. Then I went to school, my family moved to a village nearby. At 13 years old, I started drawing black under my eyes. Cause I met a boy, first time I kissed him, well it was the last. Cause I got afraid when everyone there started moving too fast. These are the moments I'm missing, these are the moments I never took in when I was just standing there wishing I could grow up and my life would be different. These are the moments I'm missing, these are the moments. These are the moments I'm missing, these are the moments. Cause I've been so caught in the motion, forgetting right where my home is. Ooh, 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 ooh. These are the moments I'm missing. In the back of her mom's car, on the way to the old bars, yeah. Raising my anxiety, using her sister's ID, yeah. In a skin-tight short skirt, 16 and we danced till her feet hurt. But I had a dream, I had a goal, got a guitar and a camera phone. Then over the time, I started racking up numbers online. At the end of July, I met somebody who changed my life. And then I was signed and falling in love for the very first time. But that fucked me up, so then I had issues with falling in love. These are the moments I'm missing, these are the moments I never took in. I was just standing there wishing I could grow up and my life would be different. These are the moments I'm missing, these are the moments. These are the moments I'm missing, these are the moments. Cause I've been so caught in the motion, forgetting right where my home is. These are the moments I'm missing.
Born in the snow, nothing there for me, I had to let go. Found the world on my own, wandering, looking for where to call home. With a beat up guitar and a bunch of highways to endlessly roam. Never did have a car, but I got a few friends to help me along. Then I met a few girls in the city of angels. Thought they all were the one, but they all ran away. So I've been writing these songs, all about love and about finding home. I'm alone, I don't know where to go, all I know is
these are the moments I'm missing. Cause I've been so caught in the motion, forgotten right where my home is. These are the moments I'm missing. Cause I've been so caught in the motion, forgotten where my home is. These are the moments I'm missing. 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 These are the moments I'm missing.
Come and move that in my direction. So thankful for that, it's such a blessing, yeah. Turn every situation into heaven, yeah. Oh, oh, oh. My sunrise on the darkest day got me feeling some kind of way. Make me wanna savor every moment slowly. You fit me, telling me love how you put it on. You got the only key, know how to turn it on. The way you nipple on my ear, the only words I wanna hear. Baby, take it slow so we can last long.
Tú eres el imán y yo soy el metal. Me voy acercando y voy armando el plan. Solo con pensarlo se acelera el pulso. Ya me está gustando más de lo normal. Todos mis sentidos van pidiendo más. Esto hay que tomarlo sin ningún apuro.
Despacito, quiero respirar tu cuello despacito. Deja que te diga cosas al oído, para que te acuerdes si no estás conmigo.
Despacito, quiero desnudarte a besos despacito. Firmo en las paredes de tu laberinto y hacer de tu cuerpo todo un manuscrito.
suave, suavecito, nos vamos pegando poquito a poquito. Cuando tú me besas con esa destreza, veo que eres malicia con delicadeza.
Pasito a pasito, suave, suavecito, nos vamos pegando poquito a poquito. Y es que esa belleza es un rompecabezas, pero para montarlo aquí tengo la pieza.
Despacito, quiero respirar tu cuello despacito. Deja que te diga cosas al oído, para que te acuerdes si no estás conmigo. Despacito, quiero desnudarte a besos despacito. Firmo en las paredes de tu laberinto y hacer de tu cuerpo todo manuscrito. Besito, besito, suave, suavecito, vamos pegando poquito a poquito.
Extrañas a mi boca tus lugares favoritos.
Pasito a pasito, suave, suavecito, nos vamos pegando poquito a poquito.
Hasta provocar tus gritos y que olvides tu apellido.
Despacito.
I've been reading books of old, the legends and the myths, Achilles and his gold, Hercules and his gifts, Spider-Man's control, and Batman with his fist. And clearly I don't see myself upon that list. She said, where you wanna go? How much you wanna risk? I'm not looking for somebody with some superhuman gifts, some superhero, some fairy tale bliss. Just something I can turn to, somebody I can kiss. I want something just like this. I want something just like I want something just like this. Been reading books of old, the legends and the myths, the testaments they told, the moon and its eclipse, and Superman unrose, super before he lives. But I'm not the kind of person that it fits. She said, where do you wanna go? How much you wanna risk? I'm not looking for somebody with some superhuman gifts, some superhero, some fairy tale bliss. Just something I can turn to, somebody I can miss. I want something just like this. I want something just like this. I want something just like this. Oh, I want something just like this. Where do you wanna go? How much you wanna risk? I'm not looking for somebody with some superhuman gifts, some superhero, some fairy tale bliss. Just something I can turn to, somebody I can miss. I want something just like this. I want something just like this. I want something just like this.
Are you disappointed? Things are far from what they seem. And do you watch me weary? Of what you might Do you regret your invitation? Or your courtesy? Oh, are you running out of patience as you leave so politely? What is becoming of the two of us? I'm turning time back, just to rise above, as if we'd never been here before. Praying on a better ending, or just something so we'll stop pretending, as if we'd never been here before. More than an arm around this shoulder, more like a light along the way. This flower that bloomed in late October. Oh, the only color amongst the gray. How I wish they could have remained this way. What is becoming of the two of us? I'm turning time back, just to rise above, as if we'd never been, no, never been here before. Praying on a better ending, or just something so we'll stop pretending, as if we'd never been here before. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, I could take you in, or I could pull you under. I wanna take you in, but I may pull you under. Oh, darling, I could take you in, but I may pull you under. Oh, darling, I could take you in, but I don't wanna pull you under. Oh, what is becoming of the two of us? I'm turning time back, just to rise above. Oh, as if we'd never been, no, never been here before. Praying on a better ending, oh, just something so we'll stop pretending, as if we'd never been here before.
I wanna follow where she goes. I think about her and she knows it. I wanna let her take control, 'cause every time that she gets closer, she pulls me in enough to keep me guessing. And maybe I should stop and start confessing, confessing, yeah. Oh, I've been shaking. I love it when you go crazy. You take all my inhibitions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back. You take me places that tear up my reputation, manipulate my decisions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back. There's nothing holding me back. She says that she's never afraid. Just picture everybody naked. She really doesn't like the wait. Not really into hesitation. Pulls me in enough to keep me guessing. Maybe I should stop and start confessing, confessing, yeah. Oh, I've been shaking. I love it when you go crazy. You take all my inhibitions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back. You take me places that tear up my reputation, manipulate my decisions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back. There's nothing holding me back. Cause if we lost our minds, took it way too far, I know we'd be alright. We would be alright if you were by my side. Stumbled in the dark, I know we'd be alright. Oh, I've been shaking. I love it when you go crazy. You take all my inhibitions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back. You take me places that tear up my reputation, manipulate my decisions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back. There's nothing holding me back. There's nothing holding me back.
I never met nobody who sees the stars the way you do. Nobody that can love me when I'm stumbling around the room. You put your hands on my body and you give me that room. And I know that you got me when I'm falling into you. You take me high, I'm dropping low, and you show me places I never know. Even when we just running around town getting stoned, boy, you put me back together again. A Coca-Cola, Hennessy. Everybody says you're no good for me, but you're my messed up remedy. Boy, you put me back together again. When you're lying with me on the car, sharing such a sweet dream, you make me feel so classy, like I'm an LA queen. You don't care that I'm broken, you don't care that I'm me. You just say that I'm golden, like a Jesus piece. You take me high, I'm dropping low, and you show me places I never know. Even when we just running around town getting stoned, boy, you put me back together again. A Coca-Cola, Hennessy. Everybody says you're no good for me, but you're my messed up remedy. Boy, you put me back together again. Boy, you put me back together again.
so cold. Don't think, just throw harder than life away. So we're standing on the edge, we're up so high, falling like a bird, learning to fly. So come on, take my hand, we'll jump tonight. Let us show the world that we're alive, that we're alive. Hold tight, let go. Follow the wind to the shore, and don't think, just throw. Everyone needs to know we're standing on the edge, we're up so high, falling like a bird, learning to fly. So come on, take my hand, we'll jump tonight. Let us show the world that we're alive, that we're alive. So darling, don't worry. Yeah, you'll be safe with me. So darling, don't worry. Yeah, you'll be safe with me. 'Cause you and I, you and I, you and I, you and I, 'cause you and I, you and I, you and I, you and I. We're standing on the edge, we're up so high, falling like a bird, learning to fly. So come on, take my hand, we'll jump tonight. Let us show the world that we're alive, that we're alive.
Guess I should've known by the way you parked your car sideways that it wouldn't last. You're the kind of person who leaves and begging out wants and love them and leaving fast. Guess I must be dumb. Saw a pocket full of horses, Trojan, some of them used. But it was Saturday night, I guess that makes it alright. You say, what have I got to lose? And I say, little red Corvette.
You got the same heartbeat, but his is falling behind. Nothing in this world could ever bring that.
Again. Hello again. We are almost ready to continue with our presentations. I'll give it a minute or two for you to find your places, and then let's move on. Thank you. So, almost all of you are here, I hope. Take a seat, please, and then we will move on to presentations from our AIMS partners. We have actually 3 presentations during the next 30 minutes or so. Thank you. As I said, during the next 30 minutes, we will hear presentations from our AIMS partners, and we will start with health. Mr. King Zwang, the CEO of Health Sporting Goods, please.
Hello, everyone. I'm very proud that I can have a speech here. Maybe I'm the most commercial person at the Congress. Today, the topic of my speech is health that brings marathon. Let me start to introduce myself and my company. I'm King Swang from Health Sporting Goods Company, which is located in south of China. Our company is founded in 1984. It's our company's photo. I would like to introduce our product, which are sports shoes and sportswear. Since 2017, Health Company has been the official sports partner of AIMS. Let me talk about the story of we becoming the sports partner of AIMS. Mr. Tao, he is a very famous coach of distance running. Where is Mr. Tao? Mr. Tao is a very famous coach, and we are very good friends. We took part in the last Congress in Greece. We have a chance to discuss with our President Paco. Thanks, Paco, who is very interested in China and health brand. I told him health company has been established for over 13 years, and we have sponsored many Chinese marathon races. Also, we have a dream that health can become the famous sports brand in the world. Moreover, our products are very high quantity, while the price less than 50% of Nikes. When I come back to China, I had many discussions with our sponsor of AIMS. Finally, in 12th April 2017, we officially signed the document in Beijing. Thanks, Mr. Paco. This is a photo of our signation. Now let's talk about introduce our products. Here is our new model of marathon shoes, 777S. Our shoes are very lightweight and outsole designed by scientists. This is a new model for the beginning runners. Our marathon shoes can fit for all kinds of runners. This one, actually, 34 years ago, Health only produced spike shoes, professional for track and field. And also, Health is official partner of IAF Regional Development Center. This designer is lighting, by Idea Lighting. Also have many kinds of technology in track and field. This is our new model of sprint and spike shoes. Now let's talk about our marathon equipment for sponsor all kinds of marathon races. Firstly is T-shirts. We have many kinds of T-shirts with all kinds of color. And also our materials very breathable. We can make running T-shirts according to the design of marathon committee. This is our marathon races, one of our marathon races. And this is for media, judges, and staff clothing, polo. And this is our official this Congress clothing. These are professional for the professional runners. This is for runners, for winners. Sorry. This is package for the runners. We are also take part in many kinds of for expo. We take part in expo with M's logo and our runners design. This is our official store. We have football shoes. Here we sponsor many of marathon races in China. This is a photo of runners. Yes, many of China races. Every year we sponsor Chinese races, more than 10 Chinese races marathon. Finally, I would like to talk about application of official marathon register. We have the biggest platform and system for marathon runners register in China. So I think we can help every committee for recruiting Chinese runners and help more and more Chinese runners to run in the world. And also, we can call more and more overseas runners to run in China. Sorry, maybe my speech is not very well because English is my third language. My second language is Russian. My first language is Chinese. Maybe I think next time I will give you a nice presentation. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you. Our next presentation is from Marathon Photos, Mr. Francis Kay.
Good morning, friends. My theme for today is going the extra mile. In past presentations, I've spoken about a variety of photo products. I've spoken about our video embedding. This next weekend at the Sydney Marathon, we are embedding the video into the sponsors' website for the 9th year. They keep coming back because this embedding the video creates one of the busiest days for their website each year. I've also spoken in the past about our MyPace interactive dashboard that brings everything digital from an event, including personal photos and videos, into one dashboard. It is now mobile responsive. It can now be embedded into into event website, and it can now be live. At the last Congress, I spoke about our Marathon Live project. We're continuing to develop this project and are starting to roll out at more events. All this technology is cool, and whilst we're continuing to push the technology boundaries, what remains most important still is the runner's experience. This is where we put most of our energy to capture their achievements. The runners deserve good photographs. A marathon runner will typically get 20 plus photographs from different positions on the course, finish, and after the finish. Excuse me. We strive to have video at least 6 positions. We also strive to have photos online from the day of the event. Those that have pre-purchased often will get a text often before they finish the event, where when they finish the event and they look at their phone, there's a text there, and they can immediately share pictures we've already identified of them so far to social media. We want to give runners photos and videos they want so they can purchase and share, download, print and share. Now something new for organisers, going for the extra mile for the organisers. Bandits, they run the race, drink the drink, take the medal and pay nothing. This is a cost we know to organisers. We have now developed software that can identify different people wearing the same bib, and here is an example. This race, everyone had unique numbers. The person on the, I'll just get the pointer here, the third one from the top was the actual person that had the chip in the bib, and all the other runners were copies of the bib. On closer look at each bib, some runners were so lazy they didn't even bother cutting the round corners of the bib, and some didn't even bother punching the hole for the pin. For sponsors, we have a new idea. I've noticed at a number of races, shoe sponsors will have people with a clipboard marking down the brands of shoes of runners that have finished. I wondered if there was a better way, and what we have developed is a way where we can supply a shoe sponsor one picture of every runner's shoe. We would supply it in a file that doesn't identify the runner that the shoes belong to, and with the approval of the organizer, we can supply the files along with gender and age categories. So a shoe sponsor can then analyse where their brand, how their brand sits in the market, and they can even take it a step further for models of shoes. They can then determine what age group is buying a particular model of their shoe. Now, for something completely different. The Hong Kong Marathon, I come to the Hong Kong Marathon a couple of days before the event each year, and I stay in a hotel room that's 30 floors up that overlooks Victoria Park, which is the finish point of the marathon. And over the years, I've been noticing the marathon being built up, the finish line, the VIP areas, the athlete areas, the sponsor areas, all being built up over the couple of days before the event. And then on the day of the event, of course, the runners come in, but at precisely 1:15, suddenly the runners finish. It's like a tap has been turned off. It's because the police have opened the roads and no more runners can get into the park. But at that point, the whole place comes to pieces. And by 7:30 that night, there is nothing left in the park. So I had this idea of why not doing a time-lapse photo. So I set up a camera, and we took a picture every 48 seconds, and then we turned it into a movie. So I'm going to ask Marco now if he could just play the movie. Right. So this is the day before, and as you can see, they're building up the finish line. You can see they're putting the carpet down. And you can start seeing the shadows from the end of the day, from the the tall buildings coming over the park. It's still being built. You can see the carpet being put down, and then nighttime comes along. And it closes for the night, and you can start seeing on the right-hand bottom there, you can start seeing the spectators starting to arrive there. The 10K run comes in when it's still dark, and you can see them coming in. And if you look up the back behind the finish line, you see all the gear trucks coming in and dropping off the gear. So, see the person swashing is still on the line there. And now you can see how it's all coming to pieces, and it's just amazing, all this, and it's starting to get dark and it's coming to pieces, and then later on you start seeing the trucks kind of washing the ground. This is about 7:30. The race only finished 6 hours beforehand. Now, I did this. Thank you. I did this as a bit of a fun thing to do, and I gave it to the organisers, and they have asked for it to be done again because they can use this to show the government officials that they're out of the park by 7:30. So they find it a useful tool. Just before I finish my presentation, A number of you will know my girls here. I'm at a number of events, so they say hi to you. And that's the end of my presentation. I'm here, obviously, for the rest of the weekend, so I'm willing to take questions. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Thank you. We have one more presentation from our AIMS partners. And please, R-bies Runnet and Mr. Yutaka Sasai.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Yutaka Sasai. You probably know me. And then today, I'm going to make a presentation of the Runnet Global, which is the AIMS registration partner. So the theme is that inbound or outbound, Runnet Global opens the door between Japan and the rest of the running world. This means events in Japan are welcoming more runners from abroad than ever before. At the same time, Japanese runners are venturing overseas for unique running experiences. So that both ways, inbound and outbound. Let me pick up that 3 examples. As you saw, that videos that report on Mount Fuji International Marathon, 9,089 runners took part, including 1,543 from 42 other countries. As you know, Mount Fuji is the highest mountain in Japan, 3,776 meters, 12,309 feet. And it was awarded World Heritage status in 2013. So when you come to Tokyo, you can see Mount Fuji even from Tokyo, so such a height. Thus, there are many international runners joining the events. Now, about 1,543 runners from 42 countries means about 17% of total participations. And next example is Nagoya Women's Marathon. Nagoya Women's Marathon, the world's largest women's-only marathon, under the leadership of Teddy, a man of full of marketing mind, such as the Finishers Award, Tiffany small pendant from the well-dressed gentleman in black tie. There are about 22,000 runners participation in 2018, with more than 3,000 international runners and 40% of the total runners. And also that has been growing 10 times since the beginning in 2014. And the next example is that Tokyo Marathon. As you know, in the past, the marathon in Japan is only for the elite runners. But Tokyo Marathon is the first mass marathons at major cities in Japan, with more than 300,000 applicants each year. Last year, they had 36,000 runners, including 6,000 international runners as of the 17 of total runners. So as you see that the international runners are growing, that participating in Japanese races. And then I want to explain that the reason why. It's a part of the Japanese government policy. Japanese government plan to expand, including inbound tourism. Inbound tourist numbers have continuously increasing over the last 10 years, and year 2025, 40 million tourists to be achieved. So that the government policy of inbound is that the inbound tourism is more the pushing this move. And the second reason is increasing. Also, this is that government policy that increasing the number of international residents in Japan. The number of foreign-born residents has increased 2.6 times in the last 10 years. So that those kind of Japanese government policy also that they're pushing forward that for the running movement as well. And let me overview that what is happening that full marathon in Japan. Annual progression in the number of runners participating in full marathon events in Japan since 2004, that the number of people who run full marathon once a year has increased 4.7 times over the last 14 years. And the number of women who run full marathon once a year has increased 6.4 over the last 14 years. So that, and also that next one is by age groups. This is the analysis of the growth of the running by age group. In the last 14 years, the number of runners over 60 years old has increased 5.6 times. I am one of them. At the same time, the number of runners in the 20s has also increased 3.2 times. Over the full marathon market, overall, the full marathon market in Japan is still growing in both participation and the number of events. Then the outbound issue. Japanese runners abroad. The number of Japanese runners who run abroad is also growing. In the past, they typically run famous races such as Honolulu and the 6 majors. But now they can choose from a variety of races according to their personal tastes. But it used to be said that Honolulu Marathon that more than 50% of the participation are Japanese. But now the story now that the cases are something different. Now it's our turn. Runnet Global and Runnet Japan, our largest running portal site, with the membership of 2.5 million, handled entries for the following international races, which is that well over 1,000 entries we are handling. And this means that you will have an opportunity to increase the number of Japanese runners in your race through Runnet Global. So get in touch with the Runnet Global to reach Japanese runners. And Japanese runners are just waiting to try something new. So that please visit the Runnet Global desk just outside of the Congress room, or visit our website to share the trends of the Japanese runners are just waiting to try something new, so that the Japanese the running movement is both the inbound and outbound is very much that we have a future of the running movement. Thank you for your kind attention, because that I have been joining the AIMS Congress almost all congresses, including the first one in 1983 in Tokyo. And I wish you the great success of Tallinn Marathon. Tänan. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Yutaka Sasai. Yesterday, we talked quite a lot about the running T-shirt and medal award. And now we are going to talk even more about that award. And no one knows more about the subject than Mr. Frank Baillie. And he will join us now on stage. And fortunately, he has his lovely assistants with him. So, Frank, please, the stage is yours.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, again. Thanks very much. We're going to have a half an hour just to talk about the medal and T-shirt competition. So the first thing I would like to do is ask my judges to come up on the stage. And that would be Martha Morales, our Vice President, who is the lead, the Chief Judge. Martha, please. Martha. Standing in for Martha for a moment, I'll ask Fran Seaton, who is one of the other judges, to come up on the stage, please. And also another, the director on the board, Gary Boshoff, to join us, please. Now, Václav from Runnet and Prague was the other judge, but unfortunately he's had to leave today. So Václav has participated and made his views known, and that will be pulled together with the other information that tomorrow morning at our presentation we'll be able to announce our winners. Now, Martha's just not available now, but when she does so, she will join us. So, first of all, if I could ask my beautiful assistants to come forward, please. The famous Estonian triplets, Olympians. Oh, thank you. Now, in fairness to yourself, and also in fairness to my judges, we've not really, as you may have gathered, we've not really had a lot of time to consult over this element of the award system because the Congress time and schedule has not allowed as many get-togethers and briefings as we would like. But so if you would please allow that, we won't overrun our times, but there's quite a lot to talk about. And I'll explain shortly why I've brought some products up to the desk. I think what I'd like to start off with is saying that, you know, this is the first time that we have had such an award competition. So you may wonder why we have done it. Well, I think what lies behind that is that one of the objectives within AIMS is to exchange. Martha has arrived. Martha is on stage. No. Sorry, yes, one of the main objectives of our association is to exchange information, to exchange ideas, to exchange innovated new concepts. And given that T-shirts and medals are a common item across us all, it's a suitable topic for us to look at. And I'm glad we have, because I have found that across our 500 members, an estimated size of the T-shirt and medal market. Some of you have been good enough to supply not just the number of units, but the prices. And that information, I can give you 100% categorical assurance, will remain confidential. But looking at the size of the information that we've got, the T-shirt, just across AIMS, just across our 450 members, the sales, the market value of T-shirts is $27 million a year. $27 million across you and the total membership of this association. The medals, just under $10 million a year. That's the size of the market, what you're all buying. Now, that drew my breath in once I'd counted up the numbers. And it makes you wonder, when we're beginning to exchange ideas and concepts and what the role of an association is, what might we be able to do with that information to help you, our members, to help AIMS get more sponsorship? So that exercise will take place later on. That's a side product of why we've had this competition. In addition to that, it's to introduce a bit of fun. I mean, people like me get up and bore people in speeches, and we give excellent information, but when you're here for 2 or 3 days, you also need some fun. And this is a bit of fun. So that's the facts and figures of what we're doing. I do thank you all for the exhibits that we have got, and it's exceeded expectations. There was no knowledge of how well this would be received. Now, we've got currently, and they're still coming in today, but we've got 97 T-shirts on display and 134 medals. Now, given that there's only 135 races here, so it shows you the extent of participation, and that's good, and interest. A number of races across the globe who could not come asked if they could do so by postal, and they've done that. They've sent them from all over the world so that they've got a display. Again, it shows interest and enthusiasm, and that's what we're trying to generate. So that's why we're having a competition. Now, as I say, forgive me, we're not as prepared as we would like to be because it's been a bit fast-moving over the last couple of days. To explain our procedure before we go into our general talk, is that we have 4 judges, as I've explained. Václav is not here, but has made his views known. Martha, our Vice President, is the Chief Judge. The judging panel is comprised of 2 male and 2 female. The 2 ladies, first of all, are drawn from the opposite ends of the world, from Mexico and wherever you're looking at the world, Mexico in the west, and Fran from Australia in the east. The 2 gentlemen, Václav has been drawn from Europe in the north, Gary to reflect the geographical and different tastes of the south. So that was my rationale in the judging panel. The judges have had the opportunity to look at the products at length. And that judging process is nearing completion, and the winners, once the judges have decided, I have no vote, I have no input other than organisation. The judges will decide the winners, and they will be announced tomorrow. So no winners getting announced today, no nothing. But we are going to ask the judges to talk with you, and I want to illustrate a few things. And what I was proposing is that we just have a discussion about these things. Because there's many different reasons as to why you produce what you do produce and how you reward your runners. For your information and facts and figures again, the average price of T-shirts ranges between $2.50 and $10. I mention that for information. You can, at this point. Medals vary from €1 to €30. €30 per medal. Now, all that reflects different tastes, different reasons, and different qualities. And that's what I find interesting, and I hope in our little discussion panel, you can decide. These products are maybe drawn for historical reasons, or they may be commanded by sponsors. They may be driven by your local council or an icon. You know, the easy ones, you know, if you're Mount Fuji or you're New York, or there's an image, there's an icon, and that brand is being conveyed. Or maybe you're choosing your products for your runners. So all that is reflected in the range of products that we've got. So I think that's basically all I'm going to say, other than I'll explain these items, or some of these items, and then we're open for you to express views, and perhaps the judges to say what thoughts they have had about the products that they've been looking at. I'd like to stress, and this is categorical, first of all, I'm wearing a Tallinn T-shirt today because it's Fun Friday and I do not have a race. So I'm neutral and I don't have a vote, but I just want to explain that. Right, so the products, if I could just mention why these are here, and then we're open for discussion. These were things that I have brought to the table, and these may not necessarily express the views of the judges, of course. And I'd like to make the point, I don't know whether the judges are considering any of these items. I don't know whether any of these items will either be a winner, an eventual winner, or be commended. I don't know. And I do know, because the winners are not determined. So take no implication by what is getting shown here that these may be ending up on the winner's table. Can you hear me? Where's my gentleman? Well, apparently it's on. Right. Okay, sat in front of the lovely Fran, I just want to say some things from my perspective that, as an objective, non-race director, I found interesting. This is from Tartar, and I found this concept very interesting. There's 5 medals from Tartar, and when you run your first race, you get a frame to keep on your desk or at home. And that comes with your first race. And they have estimated, I don't know how, but they have estimated that the average running runner in their country is 5 years. So they've decided on a 5-year display. And in order to bring people back year by year, as well as creating a unique product, all of these are a jigsaw. These interlink with each other. I'm not, yeah, here, if you, I'm sorry, but the idea is the interlink. These medals interlink with each other. It's a jigsaw that you make up. And you collect the 5, and you've got the series. So this is a series-type collection and a marketing tool to bring you back each year to complete the jigsaw. So we have running festivals. I mentioned the concept and nothing else. I'd like to show a different concept, and that is the of medals. Not the biggest, not possibly the most valuable in terms of production, but one of the longest races and well-established races in the world, Comrades. Now, Comrades medals have got and this concept for great historical reasons. And that lies behind their design and their continuity of medals. Some of us change medals year by year. Some have a unique concept that runs and reflects their history. Now, all the historical data for these medals, and Comrades and others, are in there for you to read. Not just look at, but read. We have from Lanzhou a compact type medal. Now, that, if you wouldn't mind, Martha, that, when opened up, has your medal. It has a detachable ribbon, and it's designed either you could wear as a ribbon, or you can have the ladies use it for a jewellery box or whatever. An idea, it's just an idea. I cannot say. Yeah, the idea is, you know, the prices I understand. And how prices, you know, the gentleman's raised the question of prices, Marcus, because at the end of the day it's commercial. And that is an area for discussion. If your medal's costing €1 or your medal's costing 30 euros, how are you recovering that cost? Are you doing it in your entry fee? Are you asking people to buy? I don't know is the answer to these questions, but it's a discussion item. So that's that one. The next one I picked out is Ravina. Now, these are products that are made uniquely. 14,000 handmade medals. Every medal each year is handmade. Unfortunately, I would have liked to have Vivek, but I've not got. I would have liked that, but I just didn't have the time. Oh, I don't think we can. Oh, can we? Can that be shown on the screen? I don't know. But anyway, the point is that the concept here is a race, in this case Ravina, every year take local materials, in their case quartzes and crystals, from that area of Italy. They give it to the local artisans to design And what is happening is that these are handmade, not mass-produced medals, handmade. And as you would expect, an accordingly high price. But they are hugely, speaking to Ravina, hugely collectible by their runners. They're a status symbol. Another concept. And not only that, but they give out the history of their medal each year. Every year they give, with their medal, brochures and information telling people why they've done so. I think that covers the... No, there should be one more example. Yes. And this is the our Copenhagen run. Forgive me, it's a Hans Christian Andersen. Now, they all look the same, and they're all on... Yes, please. They all look the same. But within the design each year, again, it's a series product. Within the design, if you have a look, it's very subtle. They have the year embroidered into the face of Hans Christian Andersen. And in some cases, he's wearing a hat with the year, but others, it's usually in his hair, or you've got to find the puzzle of the year. And on the back, for 5 years, are the 5 classic Hans Christian Andersen fairy tales. And you collect the series again over 5 years. A concept. So in other words, it's not a one-off medal. It comes back to collect a series that you can build up, and it tells a story. So that's the medals. I know I'm using up a lot of time, and I'm going to hand it over to the judges, but just a few words on the T-shirts. The T-shirt designs are many and varied prices. There's 2 I'd like to mention, and I can be in the model. And that is this T-shirt. I'm not wearing this just because I'm, Tallinn is where we're holding our event. I'm not wearing it just because it's Fun Friday. I'm wearing it because I found it was an interesting story. This year, and I'm not giving away any commercial details, but this year, they lost their main sponsor. So that is an opportunity or a loss, a risk, a threat, or a loss. So that was one factor in why they've ended up with this. They then looked at, without a sponsor, what icon do they have to offer the world that tells people about Tallinn? They don't have an Empire State Building or a Mount Fuji or the Big Ben Tower in London or whatever it is. What they have identified is their national flag. They've taken the concept of their national flag and they've turned it into their T-shirt. Because they didn't have their sponsor, it's uncluttered by sponsors. There's no sponsor concept on it. So the only thing they had was this, and the fact that they've got 100 years symbol on their back. They estimated, and I'm giving a little bit of figures here, they estimated 7,000 participants in their events. And they didn't know whether they would fill that or indeed sell their T-shirts. They've had to double their production up to 20,000 units. And how that 20,000 has come about is they've only got 7,000 participants, but the demand for buying an uncluttered, unsponsored, nationalistic T-shirt has resulted for the first time in runners buying and non-runners buying. And they've had to set a price. If you're a runner, participate in your marathon or any of the smaller distances, you can buy these at €12.50. If you're a non-runner, and that's the bulk of their sales, it's €25. And they've not been able to keep up with their production of their sales. as a commercial venture. They've turned their product into an icon that they believe that when people go abroad, they're showing a statement. So that's why I'm wearing this. Finally, if there should be, here, please. The other area, just for discussion, I know we've got half the time, but the questions will hopefully flow from everything that's been said, is that Runnet have abandoned a T-shirt concept. Now, you'll see out there's T-shirts. There's garments being produced to reflect the unique aspect of the race. Siberian Ice, of course, are supplying hats and mittens. Maui, Les, I've forgotten the name of what you call it, but the man and woman traditional Hawaiian dress is a sarong. So the men and women get a sarong, a lower skirt to wear. Hula skirt, I'm sorry, thank you, Les. And to give you a local example, he's not here now, but Malcolm from Loch Ness in my country is looking at producing a kilt rather than a T-shirt. Now, I'm not going into all the merits. These are ideas and thoughts, and it's just to show there's great variety and innovation getting created. So, should we be just married to the T-shirt, or should we be looking at something? Medals are a cherished item, so I don't pose that question. But the upper garment, or in Leslie's, in my case, the Scottish, a lower garment, should it be looked at? And the reason why Runnet one is going round, I think, or I hope, is that they've abandoned the T-shirt. They have decided for year-round visibility and practicality and use and marketing purposes, a rain jacket is better, which can be used at any time and is seen at any time during the year, rather than a T-shirt which is maybe confined to a gymnasium or whatever. So I've spoken a lot. I've tried to put ideas on the table. I'd asked the judges to maybe explain some of their thoughts about, in principle, as to what they were looking at, or what make them decide what products they will elect to be your winners, without obviously naming any specifics now. And then we'll take some questions by what time's over. So hopefully that's clear. But a lot of talking, a lot of information, but I'm really excited about the contest. So, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, Martha, and just pass it to the judges and say why what you've been thinking of.
Me first? Okay. So what I was looking when I was looking every T-shirt and every medal, the first thing that I thought is the challenge that we face every year for having our budget. If we have enough money to invest in all the areas of our organization, and everything is important, but for the runner, the most important thing is the medal. So based upon that, and based upon the economy of every event, as you know, Ames has one of the biggest marathons in the world and one of the smallest marathon in the world. So based upon that, on quality and facing reality, what I am considering as a marathon runner is first the symbolism of the medal, the victory. When you see the medal, that you could face that this is your achievement. So something about that must be reflected on the medal. The second thing is the design, the creativity of the organization on creating something special and dedicated just for you. And the other thing is the reflection of the culture of the organizing of the venue. It could be reflected in your culture, or maybe you are reflecting the city, or emphasizing your country, or those kind of things are also important for what I'm looking for in each medal and T-shirt. And also at the what I say about the touristic and the spirit of the marathon that is reflected of each marathon is reflected in the medal. So all those things are the ones that I'm thinking about when I'm looking for in every medal and T-shirt, and also the effort of the race organizer, thinking on those things that I have said.
Thank you, Martha. Gary, sorry, the lady first, of course, Fran.
I think when I was looking at the medals, I actually go to expos, and on our expo stand, I display medals from races around the world, and I know a number of you here have donated your medals to me. So I get to hear comments from runners when they come past. They might look at the Comrades medal and go, is that all there is? But when you hear the history of the Comrades medal, it's a whole different story because it has so much meaning behind it. You look at a medal like New York, and for days after the New York Marathon, the runners are wearing their medals. They wear it to dinner, they wear it to the bar, they wear it to the restaurant, they wear it on the plane on the way home, then they wear it at home because they are so proud that they have run the New York City Marathon. I know that with Paris, the Paris medals are quite often really simple, but they're big and they're gold and they're shiny, and the women love them. So, what does that mean? I think for me, what it means is that we all see different things in different medals. Some of us see history, we see a city, we see tradition. We all see different things, but it's a completely subjective judgment as to what I might like, what you might like, what the other person might like. So in terms of looking at those medals, I think you get down to a point where you go, well, I just happen to like that medal. We can look at, I look at something like the Marine Corps, their shirt. As I said to Rick, not my colour, would not wear khaki. He tried to tell me it matched my eyes. I pointed out they were blue. But the depth of meaning in the shirt is quite phenomenal. So I think at the end of the day, it's what you like, it's what the runners like. Will they wear your medal? Will they display your medal? And we're all different, and we all like different things. So I'm not sure that any medal is any different to any other medal. What I do know is if runners don't get a medal, they get really ticked off. And I recall a race that started a few years ago, and they gave a medal for their marathon and no medal for their half. It was carnage. They only did it once, and the next year they made sure they gave out a medal for their half, because the runners said, I paid this much money and I've run this far, and you don't even give me a medal. I won't go to your race. So that lesson got learnt very quickly. So I think the message is you all do a great job, you all have budgets, you know your markets, and you produce medals that suit your markets, and your runners love them, and that's the bottom line.
Thank you, Frank.
Thank you. I'm not going to repeat everything, but I think the thing that struck me immediately was when Frank said, we're going to have a T-shirt in the medal competition. I said, oh, sure, we'll do the judge. We'll judge quickly and we'll get the winners. But it's not that simple. Of course, as you gathered now, the whole idea of choosing between individually designed, race-motivated designs for T-shirts and for medals, the different, and it resonates with one of the presentations yesterday about where do you put the weighting, comparing the apple with the lemon. I mean, can we do that? And that is the difficulty for me, looking through all the T-shirts. Behind every T-shirt was a different motivation for the design, and Fran articulated that. And the long introduction from Frank illustrates why this is not an easy job to do. So I just want to make that point, that when we sit together tomorrow to finalize, we've already submitted our top 10 based on our own criteria, because we haven't had a chance to put criteria down and put weighting down and then allocate points so that we can get a standardized outcome at the end. It's not like that. It's going to be my views based on the 10, and maybe in the top 10 of all of us, there will be 3 that features in all of our top 10s, and then we will make the final judgment easier. But there are so many great designs, some of the examples that Frank had here, that I think all of us will go back with new ideas for our future medals and T-shirts. So yeah, I think it's a great innovation, and also give exposure to what our individual races produce, and how our, as part of the objectives of AIMS, how we can learn from each other and share ideas, information, and resources as well. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you very much, judges. That was really good. Now, we're really at, because of the length that Gary took there, we've really run out of time a bit. But there are, I think, a couple of, we've got time, I'm told by Hugh, for a couple of quick questions. And so we'll start off with Marcus, who I think wants to make a point. Please.
Yeah, I will pass the microphone. We have, I think, 5 minutes, so we can,
thank you.
Take a few questions. Please, Marcus.
Yeah, I'll be quick. I know it took a lot of time, this event, but it was worthwhile. Congratulations for the idea and the whole thing. I have a proposal to you, which is going to be very helpful to all of us. If you can take pictures of all metals, professional, good pictures, maybe Francis help you or someone else, I don't know, and send it to all of us. That would be very useful for this, just to have, you know, a PDF with pictures of all metals, and the same with T-shirts. That's my proposal. And I'm not going to make any question about judgment and everything, because this is fun. So let's keep it fun, because if it becomes more serious, then we'll start speaking about prices, designs, marketability, and goes on. And that will make it very difficult for you guys. So thank you.
Okay, well, thank you very much for that, Marcus. And I think that because of the timing and so on, that, you know, what can happen is you can go out there, you can see what you particularly like as well. I'll take that idea on board very much, Marcus. We're certainly recording everything out there for the archives, for the web, for the magazine and so on, and for future use. But if you've got a particular question or discussion you want to have about a medal or T-shirt just now, go to the individual concerned and ask him about, or her about, what the details are. Now, as I said at the outset, that you know, next year, our next Congress, you know, this will be much more professionally put together, because it's been an unknown quantity just now. But testing the water, we've got a lot of things to talk about and better do next year. So, as I say, I would like to have, and the judges I know would like to have given a much more professional presentation, but that's, the circumstances haven't allowed. The other point I just want to quickly make is that everything here, as you know Horst, everybody knows Horst. I mean, you know, I don't know what size of warehouse that the Mildies live in Berlin. I mean, Sabina must be, you know, because Horst is getting all these articles. Everything is here, and duplicates, and it's all going to the museum. Everything is going. Furthermore, all these, see these things, all this, and the sponsors, and the literature and pens and stuff and stuff and stuff. My banners about the award and T-shirts are going to Berlin. And Horst is going around as though he's some kleptomaniac saying, can I have this, can I have that? And once he had finished, and he exhausted me, I mean, he exhausted me. I said to him, Horst, very good, nothing is any problem for you. Do you want to take the carpet as well? So, thanks very much, everyone. That's it. Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you, judges. We will have the results by tomorrow. Either way, it's a really great concept. But now, before lunch, we still have one more presentation. And I am honored to invite to the stage Stacey Conley from Conley Sports Productions with her presentation on making the most of marketing, increasing women's participation in running events. So it's an important subject. Please.
Thank you. Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Martha, for having me here today. And I'm so glad and happy to be in this beautiful city and to be here with all of you. And for everybody that was lucky enough to attend the dinner last night, was that not the most amazing dinner ever? The food was delicious, the entertainment was amazing, so thank you for that. I met Martha and the Moraleses at least 15 years ago when I was fortunate enough to attend her event in the beautiful city of San Luis Potosi, Mexico. Each year I've gone, the event has gotten better and better, and I look forward to going each year. I've been in the running industry for quite a long time, and I learn something each time I go to San Luis. Actually, every time I attend any event anywhere in the world, I always learn something. And everybody here should always learn something when you attend an event anywhere. So I'm here today to talk about how we as race directors can increase women's participation in running events. So I'm one of you. I've spent more than 25 years in the running industry as an athlete, a participant, a volunteer, a spectator, and an organizer. More than a decade ago, I started Conley Sports Productions, a road race production company in Austin, Texas. Our events included the Austin Marathon and Half Marathon, the Nike Human Race, which was a one-day race that took place simultaneously in 26 cities worldwide, and the Statesman Capital 10,000, the largest 10K in the state of Texas. Over that time, we had hundreds of thousands of customers. As president of Conley Sports, I had a hand in many roles, but specifically, my role with the company was to oversee marketing, merchandising, packet pickup, and our expo. So a lot of stuff I touch on today may not apply to your event, but just take these as examples, use what you want, and forget everything else. I don't have all the answers, but my goal is to get you thinking and ask you questions you may not have considered before. So today, we have 4 key takeaways. The first one is to give you some ideas on how to develop authentic strategies. And what I mean by this is any strategies that you implement should be true and authentic to your event. Don't try to be something you're not. The second takeaway is how to identify new or underdeveloped opportunities. The third is to tell you that participation trends are not linear and that growth takes time, persistence, patience, and flexibility. A lot of changes take years before they go into effect. So the current state of women's participation. To get started, it's helpful to consider the state of women's distance running. We all know that women matter to the success of your event and any business endeavor. We make up half of the world's population and over half of the population in the United States. Women are the key component to the global economy. Women manage household finances. Women are in positions of governmental authority. You want women to be your customer. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on our company, but here's a snapshot of Conley Sports' 3 biggest events from 2006 to 2016. Participation by women in these events grew in the Austin Marathon by 46%, in the Austin Half Marathon by 66%, and in the 3M Half Marathon by 80%. We're not entirely sure what we did, but we made some systemic and cultural changes to our marketing plan and team and saw this increase in women's participation. I can't speak to what other events did to increase women's participation, so what I'm talking about today is what we did under my direction to make this happen. Some points to ponder. Here are some things to consider. Men and women usually have very different needs and expectations. As a matter of fact, women usually have different needs from each other. So who on your team is in charge of key marketing decisions, and how are women driving these decisions? What is your event's brand promise? What I mean by this is, what does your event promise to its customers? Don't show beautiful beaches and sunshine in your advertising if your event is in the mountains. For example, the Disney Princess Half Marathon does everything they can to make you feel like a princess. I've not done this event, but it's definitely on my list. I love Disney World. The Lake Tahoe Marathon, Les's event, hosts multiple events throughout the weekend and has breathtaking scenery at each event. I've been to the Tahoe Marathon, and you better believe Les lives up to his brand promise. The Tangamanga Marathon in San Luis Potosi takes place in a charming and historic city where the hospitality can't be beat. The volunteers along the course are friendly, helpful, and knowledgeable, and they make every participant feel special. You may be familiar with Susan G. Komen. She died in the mid-'80s, and her sister promised to start finding the cure to breast cancer. So Susan G. Komen became the largest breast cancer organization in the world. The entire brand is centered around the color pink. Susan G. Komen owns the Race for the Cure 5K, whose athletes are primarily women. There are now 140 Race for the Cures in the United States, and each 5K gets thousands of participants, and there's pink as far as the eye can see. Susan G. Komen owns the color pink, and it works for them and their brand. I'd go as far to say if your event isn't Race for the Cure, don't use brand pink in your branding. I recently learned about a 3-day walking event produced by Komen where athletes walk 20 miles each day. This is a fundraising event, and each participant has to raise $2,300. I'm interested in doing this event not because it's a fundraiser for breast cancer, but because of the challenge and the female camaraderie. And of course, I love pink. So what are some barriers that may keep women from participating in your event? Before you launch a marketing plan, it's helpful to be aware of some things that may be considered barriers to your customers' participation. Some barriers may be out of your control, such as the location of your event. Is your race in the desert? Is your race in a hot month? Is your race in a remote location? There may be some barriers that you do have some control over that won't conflict with your business model. I'm going to talk about a few of these today. This is not an exhaustive list, but may include some barriers that your women customers consider when selecting an event to participate in. I've been in the business for 25 years, like I said, almost half my life, and I know how entry fees may be the one thing you can't change because it's integral to your business model, but you can get creative. Women, like men, like a good value. If you aren't able to offer discounts on your entry fees, consider offering other items that your customers will perceive as added value. Maybe a long sleeve shirt rather than a short sleeve, or a jacket, or even a backpack. One year we gave backpacks to our customers instead of shirts, and the participants loved them because they were different. We still see these backpacks around town. It wasn't too long ago that races offered cotton shirts and even unisex shirts, and now most races offer technical shirts and men's sizes and women's sizes. And as a woman, I really appreciate being given a woman's shirt that actually fits me and that I can wear. For the first 17 years of the Austin Marathon's existence, we had solid cash sponsors. Then suddenly in 2009, we found ourselves without any cash sponsors. We were profitable for the next 2 years despite this fact. How did we do it? We did it through careful and strategic management of our pricing. We studied pricing trends. We looked at entry fees of other marathons of similar size. We discussed how and when to increase our prices, and we did it as a team, so we know it can be done. Several years later, with the security of new cash sponsors, we decided we wanted to see an increase in female participation. Our business model did not allow us to offer discounts, but we offered perks such as special packet pickup, a tent at the finish line, and awards. It was wildly successful and got a lot of positive attention. This is an example of an idea that didn't cost a lot of money and made a lot of people happy. It was win-win. I mentioned family-friendly lodging. How many of you have a host hotel? Years ago, when my girls were small kids, we were looking for somewhere to take them on summer vacation. We based our decision on a hotel that offered kids programs. This made it easier for us as parents to keep our kids occupied and entertained. Do you work with a hotel to offer perks or special bonuses to your athletes? Or maybe even perks to family members? The hotels we worked with in Austin offered our athletes a lake checkout as a special perk to runners. Maybe you can work with your hotel to offer safe childcare, so moms who don't have the benefit of friends or family members to take care of their kids will be able to run worry-free. Do you produce more than one event? Consider offering discounts to customers who participate in multiple events. How about a special package or jacket for women who run several of your events? This will increase loyalty and participation. Women love good values. We had a handful of runners who ran every Austin Marathon from the first year of the event. Each year we gave them a free entry and a special shirt. How about offering a special edition shirt designed by a local female artist to all women who have done your event more than 2 or 3 times? Child and family care. So globally, women are the primary caregivers to children and elderly parents. Do you offer on-site child care or family activities? While mom is out running, what will her kids be doing? Kids staying at home may not be an option, so what can your event do to help safely entertain kids while their mom is running? Something as simple as allowing moms to push strollers in the race would be a huge help. Safety. What is your city's reputation for safety? What is your event's start time and location? Does the race start in the dark? Is the start convenient to parking or public transportation? Many women, myself included, don't feel safe walking down the street or through a dark alley alone, especially in a city we're not familiar with. Does your event do everything it can to make a woman feel safe getting to the start line? What about dropping out? If I'm having a bad day and have decided I need to drop out, how do I get back to the start safely and quickly and without hassle? Comfort and ease. When women are considering which race to run, they will likely choose an event that makes things easier for them. Toilets, for an example. Clean, plentiful toilets are a very big deal for women. Teddy and Saki are familiar with this. They told me they had 600 beautiful, clean toilets at their start line, and they believe that no other event has more toilets than them. That makes me want to go to their event. If an event doesn't provide enough clean toilets, a woman is likely to remember this and not return to your event. Even when there are plenty of toilets, it's often difficult to find them, especially when it's dark. Does your event have adequate signage that points the way to the toilets? How many toilets do you have along the course? Does someone ensure that the toilets have toilet paper or that women's toilets are used only by women? This is huge, really, it is. Family viewing areas. How many points along the course can friends and family cheer athletes on? When I've been a spectator, I've appreciated multiple easy-to-access viewing areas. And when I've been a participant, I've appreciated it even more. There's nothing better than to see a loved one cheer you on as you run by. Is there security at gear check? Do you offer a place for women to change after the event? These are small perks, but they really do go a long way. Developing the marketing plan. What is your brand and your brand promise? Are women part of this decision making? So in the early 2000s, Austin had a point-to-point course. It started north of town and finished downtown. The Association of Road Race Statisticians labeled us the fastest course in the world. That became our brand promise. Then in 2007, because of logistical concerns and challenges with the city, we were forced to change to a loop course. While this made it easier for the organizers, many runners weren't pleased. We had to rebrand our event and develop new promises. We took the focus away from the fast course and started to focus on our amazing city. So you may be familiar with this logo. It's the brand Lululemon, which Alan, he works closely with Lululemon, Alan Brooks from Toronto. So just seeing this logo makes me happy. It's an apparel store based in Vancouver, British Columbia, and Canada, and it caters primarily to women. They're very trendy and very expensive. But I shop there on a regular basis because I love their stuff. It makes me feel more confident when I wear their stuff. And the cost is worth it because they have good value and they deliver on their brand promise. So, do you have a marketing team? Who's on that team, and are there women on your team? If you walk away with nothing else from today, the most important thing to remember is that the team that puts together your message, your advertising plan, your merchandising, your collateral, every public aspect of your event must have a woman or a team of women who have authority and responsibility. In Austin, we had a dedicated marketing team comprised primarily of women and women athletes of mixed ability and experience. We incorporated as many different viewpoints and opinions into our plan as possible. We made every event to make that team as diverse as possible and took into account married women, single women, elderly women, young women, LGBT women, ethnic minority women, women who walked, and women who were fast. They're all athletes and they all deserve the same amount of respect. Your message. What is your message and how is it relevant to women? What is your hook? A hook is that thing that may be tangible or intangible that makes a customer decide she's going to do your event now. Picture a woman flipping through the pages of a magazine. She gets to your ad, stops, looks at it, and decides, I must do that event now. When I saw when I got this from Teddy, I looked through this and I thought, I must do this event. It's pink, which is okay in Japan. Lots of toilets, clean, and women. 22,000 women. So this is next on my list. So I'm coming, Teddy. So what else is there to do in your event, to do in your city after your event is over? Not all cities are as lucky as Honolulu or Paris, so we have to create our hook, the reason women will run our event and let future customers know about it. In Texas, the Dallas and Houston marathons have an easier time getting runners because they're bigger, better known cities than Austin, and they're also easier cities to travel to. So the onus is on us to persuade women to come run Austin because of our hook. I remember asking runners all the time why they came to run Austin, and it was because they either went to the University of Texas or had friends who went to the University of Texas. And while this is great, that only got us so far. So we had to promote our city and let everybody know what a wonderful place it was. So several years back, Austin, Dallas, and Houston started a marketing program called the Marathons of Texas. The runner signed up for Dallas in December, Houston in January, and Austin in February. If she completed all 3 marathons, she received a free jacket. You can tell I love jackets. They're a nice perk. We got quite a response from this offer, and it benefited all 3 cities. Is your event a great destination for a weekend away with girlfriends? You could even make this into a money marker for yourself and your community. Partner with a local business and sell their product or service through registration. I bet a sports massage company would be very interested in working with your event. Women's athletic clubs. What can you offer clubs that wouldn't cost a lot of money? How about pedicures at the finish line for women who run with a club? Charity runners. How many charities do you allow at your event, and how many benefit women? Do you have a fast course or great weather? And how about working with your city to develop a travel package that includes air, hotel, and registration? There are even some companies that specialize in marathon travel packages. Finding the customer. So you're moving right along with your marketing plan. How do you go about finding your women customers? Here are a few ideas. I mentioned subsets. Some examples of subsets that I mentioned before are experienced fast runners, women who are new to running, women who walk events, that's me, women who run for charities, older women, younger women, LGBT runners, big women, small women, you get the point. But all groups should be welcome and supported equally. One of our favorite traditions at the Austin Marathon was to welcome the last participant as he or she crossed the finish line. The race director would present them with a finisher's medal and walk them across the finish line. We wanted everyone to feel welcome, even the runners at the back of the pack. Another bonus offered at the marathon was finish line space exclusively for clubs or training groups. Space at the finish line was in high demand, so this small gesture went a long way and strengthened our relationship with local clubs. So once you develop your marketing plan, stick to it and commit, preferably for a minimum of 3 years. Don't change the plan midway through, as this will confuse your customers. Monitor your trends and be patient. Do your homework. Data should drive any decisions that are made. Success is not linear, and you may have some great weeks or even months, then some weeks that aren't so great. Hang in there and keep moving on. But you have to believe in your plan before you begin the execution phase. So, online media. Don't annoy your potential and existing customers with too many emails or posts. You don't want your customers to unsubscribe or unfollow because of too much communication from you. How do you keep your customers engaged and interested? Women get so many messages every day, so you have to be careful to not inundate them. Don't post on Facebook just to post on Facebook. Women will see through this and stop reading your posts. I recently started following a group on Instagram that looked interesting to me. They sent me 2 solicitations in 2 days. I unfollowed them. With email newsletters or social media posts, include an action step such as registration or shopping or even donating to charity. Keep it simple. The quality of posts is more important than the quantity. I've read that with Facebook or Instagram, no more than 2 posts a day, 3 times a week. With Twitter, you can post as many as 30 times a day. I don't know, that seems a lot to me, but. So expos. Expos are a great opportunity to interact with your customers. Electronic communication is very fast and efficient, but there's nothing like face-to-face with your customers. You can have a conversation with them and answer any questions that may not be on your website. You can give your event personality and show women how special and unique your event is. Keep in mind when finding volunteers to staff your expo booth, make sure you get a variety of people in that it's all body types, men and women, and a variety of ages. Also, make sure your volunteers are familiar with your event. Past participants or even past volunteers are the best volunteers for your expo booth. They're passionate and, most importantly, knowledgeable. Here, this is kind of a different idea that I thought of, but how about considering exhibiting at events other than expos? We have a lot of home shows in the United States. These shows highlight new and exciting items for the home. There are also many bridal shows throughout the country, shows that center around food. It would be interesting to try to exhibit at one of these shows to see what kind of response you get. Chances are very good that you'd be the only race there, so why not give it a try? You'd have no competition. While we're talking about expos, do you offer a speaking series at your expo? Why not have a woman speak to your woman customers on any number of topics, such as how to prepare for the race, what to eat before and after the race, or other similar subjects? Do you ever reach out to your local running or athletic store and ask them if you can have a woman speak about running? So every event wants media coverage for their event. This is not always easy, so what are some creative ideas you can do to earn media coverage? In Austin, we developed an event we called the Trash Run. It was an off-season event that we held multiple times a year, not on marathon weekend. We invited volunteers to run along parts of the Austin Marathon course and pick up trash along the way. We provided shirts and would meet at a restaurant or bar and had refreshments for the volunteers after they finished. The goal was to keep the marathon in the forefront of people's minds year-round, to keep the marathon course as clean as possible, and to be good community partners. The Statesman Capital 10,000, the largest 10K in Texas, is owned by the Austin American-Statesman, Austin's newspaper. So they got plenty of news coverage in the newspaper, but not every race has this advantage. Do you have newscasters who are women? Even better, women newscasters who run. Consider reaching out to them or women sports writers and developing a relationship with them to boost women's participation. Offer them a complimentary entry or a free VIP pass. So your first thought may be to advertise in running magazines, but consider non-running magazines such as travel, food, and even community newspapers. We ran ads in Austin Monthly, a publication whose sole focus is Austin, for an entire year, and we're the only marathon that advertised with them. We spread the message about the Austin Marathon to local people, as well as letting people who lived in other cities know about us. This also showed support to our local magazine. In your advertisements, do you feature runners running in a running magazine? That's redundant. Oh, Pablo. Consider highlighting successful, happy women and families at the finish line enjoying themselves. Show off your city. Convince women why to travel to your event over all other events. So here's some examples of some ads we ran in 2016. This was the 25th anniversary of the Austin Marathon and Half Marathon. In 2016, our event fell on Valentine's Day, February 14th. So in this one, we focus on Valentine's Day, roses, and the Austin Marathon, which women love roses, Valentine's Day, and the Austin Marathon, so it was perfect. In this one, we highlight friends, education, and the weirdness of Austin. Austin is very well known for its weirdness, so we thought this was perfect. And in this last one, we highlighted the beautiful city of Austin and that no matter what the weather is, it'll be perfect on race day. And notice that we did not feature any runners running in any of these ads. It's kind of obvious. You don't need to show runners in your ads. So we also directed an event several years back. It was called the Zuma Women's Half Marathon. And we found that it was too expensive to hold the event in downtown Austin, so we did it in the outskirts of town at a resort. And it was outside the city, and it was a women-only race, and women spent the weekend there and had a great time. And this is also a fabulous idea. Women love resorts and making it into a big race weekend. So are you satisfied with the participation of local women athletes? Will non-locals, people who live outside your city, attend your event? How far will someone travel to your event? How easy is it to get there? In our experience, customers would travel an average of 3 hours to get to Austin, either by car or air. Any more than 3 hours, and they were less likely to come. You know your city and event better than anyone, so how do you get more women to participate in your event? So, in summary, women are the next running boom. Participation trends are not linear. You will have successful years and years that aren't quite as successful, and this is normal. Understand your brand promise. Make sure the entire team agrees on that promise and deliver that to your women customers. Women are not all the same. And make sure you have women in important roles and that they are empowered to make key decisions for your event. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Stacey.
Thank you.
What a great presentation it was. Yes, now it's time for lunch, and the same story as yesterday. Those of you who have pre-ordered your lunch, lunch is served at the restaurant.